Here are 10 legit ways to make $150 a day at least as a teenager. I've done most of these in my lifetime. I hope they help you, and they're not that hard to do. Money shouldn't be your master, but it is a tool. And if you don't have enough of it, it can cause problems. So I want you to have the resource and know how to make it. It's essential. Let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to split this up into some different parts. Now, the first part or section or category of making money, especially this amount of money, is a business. If you can set up your own business, you will be able to make a lot of money. Now, don't freak out. You don't have to go be Jeff Bezos and start Amazon or have Apple right now. If you want to, go ahead. But simply even something, the business of creating your own business where you provide childcare services, where you're a babysitter. Okay? Now, these days you can charge like $20 an hour. And so if you're working 8 hours a day, like I did in the summer, I would babysit for a family and I would babysit multiple children for 8 hours a day, 5 times a week. What is 8 times 20? $160. Okay, that is more than the $150 a day. And so I started babysitting when I was 11 or 12. I took the American Red Cross babysitting course. I took CPR. And then I would also bring different activities and games and stuff for the kids. And so depending on who you go babysit for, depending on how you present yourself, depending on how many kids you watch, what neighborhood are you in, what family are you in, you will be able to charge more and you will be able to do more, right? So what I loved about this was I loved working with kids. I loved doing my own thing. I loved the money, but then I also just loved it itself. And so babysitting, a lot of kids love babysitting. And so go find the right families, go find the right people, and that will be a great way to make a lot of money. The next thing that you can do with business is like being a freelancer, providing your service. So maybe you're a graphic designer. Maybe you're really good at coding. Maybe you have something that you can offer people. Now, finding the customers is a little bit of a tricky part, but especially if you're young, if you're motivated, if you show up as a good person, if you show up prepared, if you show up as someone that someone would want to help, like take care of yourself a little bit and have a good product or service to offer, you're going to find someone who's going to give you a chance. And so for this, you can offer those freelancing services. I know I was a transcriptionist. I got paid for what I did. And so someone had a bunch of lectures and things that were in Latin that I needed to translate. And so I got paid a flat rate for translating those services. And for those lectures, I had to go translate them and make a transcript and go write them. And so that took hours and hours of work, but I got paid based on my results, not based on the hour. And so what is something that you can get paid on, not by the hour, but by the result? And so, hey, if I power wash your house for you, it's $150, or $75. I mean, power washing a whole house, that should be worth a lot of money. Now, you might not want to go around to neighbors. I know someone had a window washing business and they would go wash all the windows and climb up on the roof. They were young and they would charge $50 or whatever. And multiple houses, you only need 3 houses and you have that $150, right? And so find businesses, find people, go to the right neighborhoods, and you will probably make more money than you think. You could also sell like your art. I know a lot of people who love making things. I know people have bracelet businesses and make jewelry, or Kendra Scott, right? I know people who make pottery or who have these paintings. Now, when I was like 5, 4, or 6 years old, I was pretty young. I drew my own pictures. I always had this entrepreneurial spirit, and I set up a little stand and sold them. And mostly my family came and they were silly little pictures, but I charged like 5-10 cents and got some money. And so that is something that you can do. You can charge for your art. You could showcase it. You could put it online. You could put it on Instagram and advertise it on TikTok or something, or just in your community, and go take it around. Go take it around to sporting events. Go take it around where people are, or where other parents are, where they're like, oh, look at this kid who is trying to make money and who has value. You're providing value. Hey, this is a cute bracelet. I know people who've made 3D printed items and has made $400, $500 in a day going to like a farmer's market. And so sales and having a business or a product or a service that you own is one of the best ways for kids to make money. Mowing lawns. I know I had a lemonade stand. My friend and I loved the lemonade stand so much. And I was like, this is awesome. Let's do not only a lemonade stand, but in the fall, we could do an apple cider stand. And then in the winter, we could do a hot cocoa stand. And we never did the winter one. At least I don't think we did. But we definitely did I'll see if I can find a picture, but the apple cider stand, and in the fall, and we had like baked goods for fall and things, and it was so fun. And so you can make a good amount of money, and people want to support you. Even someone in my family, when he was 10, he started a lemonade stand, and someone gave him $40 just because of his spirit and being willing to put himself out there. So put yourself out there. Products, services, businesses are probably one of my favorite things to encourage people to do. I even sold candy. I would buy candy and then sell it to people for a higher price, and all sorts of other things. I did an American Girl doll business where I made like a magazine and had clothes and bought accessories and made different things. So the ideas and options are endless. Figure out what people want, and then you can sell it and offer it. So you can think about what are fun things, like what do people want or need, or like the jewelry, that's a fun thing to have, or some toy for a kid that's unique or interesting. But then the services like the washing the windows, but also mowing lawns, shoveling snow in the winter. So what are some things you can do based on your interests? It doesn't have to be the jewelry business. It doesn't have to be the art. It doesn't have to be the lemonade stand. It doesn't have to be mowing. Like, what is something that you want to do? Think about it. And what would people pay for? What do people already pay for? And what would they pay you for? And then finding the right customer, right? Because you might think it's a lot of money to charge $10, but the right person, and for whatever you spent time on, like a painting or something that took you a lot of time and it's going to provide value, you could charge more, $100 or something for that. So think big, think critically, and I'm happy to make more videos to support you in doing this. As a teenager, you can make $150 a day depending on the job you go to. Remember, making like $20 an hour, and if you work 8 hours is $160. So thinking about, especially if you're an older teenager, where you can get like a job at a restaurant or something. A restaurant, you might have a lower salary. I was a server before too. But you can make money with tips. And so that is something to consider. Some people aren't into the entrepreneurial side or don't want to sell things, and that's totally fine. You can also think long term. So maybe you want to make more money faster, but instead invest in your education or your skills. And so, right, like a doctor makes more money because they have a specialized skill that is harder to do or has more risk. And so start now thinking, if you're getting close to college, if you want to go the business route or creating products or services, or if you want to get a high value job that is going to pay you more. And so you can work on the side, whatever job you want, and maybe it's not $150 a day, but where can you start looking into to get the skills and the education? Because if you put the money into a degree that will get you a lot of money out of it, right? You don't want to just do a degree and then you have a degree, but then there's no payout or no job, or you spent $500,000 on a degree and you make $40,000 a year. Like, the math doesn't math there, right? And so think about that. It's not just now, like maybe one of these businesses or something is going to be what you want, but think about, how can I invest in myself? I'm the asset. I'm the most important thing. I'm in control of how much money I make or don't make. What do I love to do? You can consider Ikigai. I have a video on that. It's what you love to do, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, and what the world needs. If you find something that meets that, you're going to be happy and thriving. But really think about what you want to do in your life. And maybe you're like, the doctor's salary sounds nice, but I don't want to spend all that time or that money, or I don't want to do that job and I'm going to be away from my family, or whatever it is. But start thinking about those things now. I hope this video helped. Please let me know in the comments below what you're going to do, or maybe what you already are doing, so that other people can get ideas. If you have questions, let me know. What topics do you want to learn more about? I have tons on my channel on creating the best version of yourself and mastering yourself and creating a life you love. I hope it helps. I know you are going to be successful. You already are. Keep taking steps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. You got this.